Hello, and welcome to a short video demonstrating how to generate production outputs within the framing software. I'll be generating cassette and joist legend tables, as well as producing schedules. For this demonstration, I'm going to work on this small drawing, producing output tables and schedules, editing them after producing them, and then finally exporting those schedules. To insert a cassette table, you need to go to the flooring pull-down menu, Manufacturing Output, and then select Insert Cassette Table. A palette should appear on the left-hand side, which will allow you to configure the cassette table. For example, I can choose to include information about insulation, cassette area, weight, and total length, weight, and area. I can also choose to create a spreadsheet file and then set the location to where it will be created. This spreadsheet file can then be opened up in applications such as Microsoft Excel. Once you have finished configuring your cassette table, click OK and then specify a point to place it. You should now see your cassette table, which you have configured in the model space. If we take a closer look at the table, we can see what it includes. If we start from the left-hand side and work our way to the right, we have the reference for the floor cassette, the type, we have the dimensions, that's the width, the depth, and the length. We have the joist centers, the decking, and where the decking is at the bottom, angled, weight, area. We also have information on decking nailing for the top and for the bottom. We also have information whether the cassette has openings, if it's insulated, and the type of insulation. We also have the timber length, the cladding area, whether to include a crash deck, and any notes that we might have put against the cassette itself. If we look towards the bottom, we have the cassette total length, the cassette total area, the total weight, and then for the level itself, the length, area, and weight. A CSV file would also be created in your chosen location, and this file can be opened in Excel. As you can see, this is the same data which was in the table within the framing application. If you were to select the table, we can reconfigure the table within the properties. For example, I can turn off total weight and remove the crash deck indicator. This will then update the table to reflect that. We can also create a joist legend table by going to the flooring pull-down menu, Manufacturing Output, and then selecting Insert Joist Legend Table. You should then see a palette appear on the left-hand side, which will allow you to configure the table you are going to insert. We can change the table type from joist only to nogging only, or joist and nogging table. The table can include all components and components that belong to that cassette only or site fixed only. We can produce a separate table for site fixed components as well. Some annotation options can be changed, such as height, spacing, and legend type. We can choose to include hangers and create a spreadsheet file as well. We will need to define the location of where the spreadsheet file will be saved. Once you've finished configuring your joist legend table, click OK and then specify a point to place your table. You should now see your table which you've configured in the model space. Once again, a CSV file is created which can then be opened in Microsoft Excel. The same data which is presented here is also in the drawing file. In order to produce a schedule, we will need to go to the flooring pull-down menu and then select Schedule. Now you should see the schedule window which will look similar to mine. We have a few different schedules that run along the top of the window. If we look at the first schedule, it has been broken down for each cassette. For example, FC1 has all of its components listed with their descriptions, dimensions, quantities, angles, and grades. This is the same for each cassette. We can also add some additional information such as project details like job reference and plot number. We would need to go into the General tab and then type in this information here. We can also go into the next tab and choose what we want to include in our schedule. We can choose to include timbers, ply sheeting, insulation, breather paper. Now we have three output options that are available to us. For example, we can output to a word processing software such as Microsoft Word. We can also output to a spreadsheet which can then be opened in Microsoft Excel. And finally, we can output to a plain text file which can be opened in Notepad.